This is Kev Millar from the 2004 World Champion Boston Red Sox, and you're listening to Boston's Big Three podcast presented by Ride the Wave Media.
The second that Larry Bird doesn't have any for anybody, he's dead. He's about to croak. Like him, Michael Jordan, same thing.
Honest.
They're not less money's into it. Episode 33 of Boston's Big Three, presented by Ride the Wave Media, is live. You're listening to us right now, like that.
On
is just
air.
Yeah, we are in your ear holes.
In your ear, on your phone.
We
wherever you are listening.
Sponsored by 1-on-100, like every week. They're the only online raffle website giving fans and experience seekers the chance to win tickets to live sporting events, concerts, music festivals, and more. Whether it be from your desktop or mobile device, winning tickets to your favorite event has never been so easy and fun. Choose your desired event, purchase the raffle ticket into the draw, and you can be the lucky winner. Today is Wednesday, February 19th. A couple days after All-Star Weekend. Games start up again tomorrow, but we haven't really talked about All-Star Weekend yet.
I'm still recovering.
Yeah,
I'm still recovering. It was a fun weekend.
It gets better and better every single year.
Honest.
But people love to complain. Like the dunk contest, very good dunk contest. Like
great. That will go down as one of the best dunk contests since like the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon one.
Yeah.
And now
Aaron Gordon should have won that all the way. That's ridiculous he didn't win that.
If you just heard that voice, that is Jake Seymour of Ride the Wave Media. I forgot to introduce the show. We don't have Babs, spiking, good, kick rocks. We don't need them. Go pound sand. We don't have Joe Stafford. They're filming an episode which will be released Friday. They're going to the Combine next weekend in Indianapolis. So if you're a football fan, you're a Babs fan, hopefully a Babs hater, you're listening to that, getting some insight, see what nonsense is spewing out of his mouth. And so today's show, we're going to be going a lot of Celtics talk, a lot of All-Star Game weekend talk, and then we're going to wrap up with how the Astros and the MLB just keep making themselves like absolute morons. But Friday night, the celebrity game. Did any of you guys watch that? I watched every.
I did not watch it because I wanted to see like Bieber or J. Cole or someone in there. Those are the guys I like to watch. Like those celebrities that are undercover great basketball players. They are the most fun to watch in that. But I think Quavo played this weekend, right? He was the only like big time like actual basketball player.
Chance the Rapper's brother played, and know how like
when
it says like your name.
Bennett.
It says your name and then like what you're famous for. It's like whatever his name is, Chance the Rapper's brother. Like,
he's got
awesome.
Songs. Like
this dude's gonna have more money than me just for being related to somebody. But I don't even know who won the MVP. Let's check.
Quavo.
No, he played terribly.
Did he? Dang. Common. Who else played in it?
Common won MVP.
Yeah, Common's weekend.
Dude, speaking of Common. That was pathetic. Every single his slam poetry hour that nobody signed up for.
The opening
game starts at 9. The Common show ends at 8:45.
Hold on, what did he rhymed? What did he rhyme Antetokounmpo with? It was something just ridiculous. It was like shampoo or something.
Like, I don't know. Like,
it was bad.
Fuck, like all the other ones, really good, bro. Like
all the other ones like seem to make sense. And then he's the man who knows how to use shampoo. Give it up for number 34, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Dude, some of them were just stretches. Like, I don't even know what the comment show is nothing that All-Star Weekend needed. Or the 45-minute intro just looking at a white hologram or whatever it was, like a map of the 3D Chicago. I'm like, this is just Chicago. Like,
Chicago.
Bulls stink. They haven't been good since
they used to be all right.
I don't need to make a big deal out of this.
Gotta honor the legacy that Chicago used to be good at basketball.
My biggest gripe with this is why not have this All-Star Weekend in Boston? Like, when's the last time it's been in Boston, if ever?
Did they?
56, I think, was the last one.
1956?
Yeah.
Holy
I'll tell you why, though. Boston is not a good city for this stuff. Our public transportation is awful, so we'll never get the All-Star game. I think the last, All-Star that we had professional, I think it was, I want to say the MLB in 99, I think it was.
Yeah. But even then, what city has good transportation? You don't go to a city and like, oh, that was easy to get from point A to point B. It's always a hassle.
Yeah, and a lot worse than Boston.
You can't make the argument that it's cold. You just had it in Chicago. You had it in Toronto the year before. You had it in Charlotte. Wait, Charlotte's North Carolina. No, but even then, Charlotte's like 50s around that time. So if you want to consider that warm, yeah.
You gotta have it in Orlando every year. Turn into the Pro Bowl.
Bring it to Boston. Like that would just be fun.
Let's start that.
There'd be
All-Star Boston
no
2024, 25.
Where was it this year? No, not this year.
Where is it next year? I think it's already
Cleveland? Is it in
Indiana.
Cleveland? Oh, Indiana. Yeah, Indiana.
I think it's
Cleveland
Indiana.
gets it before Boston. Where is it? Hold
The
on.
Pacers. I think Indiana's definitely getting it before us. I think they're scheduled for the 2021 game. Guarantee it. Throw some money on it right now.
2023 is Utah.
Ew.
2022 is Cleveland.
And we're not, all right. We got to be next on that list.
Where's 2021?
It's
Probably already
Indiana. Yeah, Indiana.
Indiana, Cleveland, and what was the other one? You said Utah.
Utah.
Yeah. Bring it out. Bring it back east. Have it out west once. Bring it back east. So
Future locations.
Boston's TD Garden hosting the 2021 All-Star Weekend. 2020.
There's nobody after Utah.
So we got to get a bid in. We should put a bid in for the city.
Jaylen Brown's last year in Boston. You never know.
Oh.
All right, but Rising Stars game was after that. Kind of a boring game. It's kind of like how the All-Star games used to be in the past, except there's just a bunch of young people. That makes sense. You're just gonna show up. The funniest part about that whole thing is that the other rookie center that the Pelicans drafted was the replacement for Tyler Hero instead of Jackson Hayes. After Jackson Hayes just went off on the NBA.
I feel like everyone knew who Jackson Hayes was.
19-year-olds with money.
Yeah.
19-year-olds with money. This is the dumbest combination in the world.
Zion did tilt the rim on that. That was pretty crazy.
I think my favorite part of that game, I didn't watch that game through the entirety like I did the actual All-Star game, but I watched like some highlights online, and I think the funny like seeing them have like a mini dunk contest at the end, and then having Luka hit that half-court shot in Trey's face. It was the most adorable, wholesome basketball moment so far this year.
So that ends, and then Saturday you get Rising. No, what's that called? Skills comp. Easy. Why did I forget that? Skills comp, 3-point dunk contest. So skills competition. Jason Tatum was coming in, looking to go for a repeat, and Sabonis shut that down first round. And Sabonis is the worst All-Star ever of all time in the history of All-Star games. Like I get why you.
I didn't realize he was like actually there until the All-Star game, and I saw him at the end of the bench. I was like, who the heck is this guy?
Which kid did he win?
How did he get here?
But then I don't know. Like you have to put a pacer on their top 5, but like I'd put Miles Turner over Sabonis. Sabonis put up numbers compared to Miles Turner, but like Miles Turner is a significantly better basketball player than anybody with eyes.
They're probably expecting Oladipo when they scheduled this entire thing. Probably expecting Oladipo to be healthy. You know what I mean? He goes down with that injury last season, or 2 seasons ago. Last season.
Yeah, but even then, the All-Star voting doesn't even start
right
until a while.
Well, you're not going to put a guy into the All-Star game.
There's no
that's why
way.
Dame wasn't there.
Well, Bradley, like when it comes down to that, Sabonis made the All-Star team over Bradley Beal. He made it over Jaylen Brown. He made it over.
But he is a backcourt versus front court. So
yeah, I mean,
the backcourt in the East was questionable.
Also, no, we can talk about All-Star storylines in a second. Bam Adebayo won, which is a phenomenal name, like a top 5 name of all time. Absolutely. Bam Adebayo won the skills competition. Do you guys play like 2K My Team?
The bonus.
No, not really.
I don't.
All right, so me and my roommates do, and so like for whenever something happens, they like put out these new cards and everything. And Bam Adebayo is like Michael Jordan in this game. Like he is unbelievable. I'm like, he's not this good.
Like Gerald Green in 2K11.
Like Gerald Green in any 2K ever.
Yeah.
Like there's some people who are just walking buckets in life. Bam Adebayo is not one, but he might as well be one in this one. But he wins the game. I like him a lot. Where did he come out of school again? Or did he even go to school?
Hell if I know. Is he even from America?
No.
Is he Team USA? Let's fact check that real quick. What do we got? I'm guessing some like American conference school. I never heard of
Kentucky.
Oh, that's right. All right, I was gonna say Kentucky, but because Hamid Diallo, I think they were in the same team. But I just remember Hamid Diallo and like Bam Adebayo. If they weren't on the same team, those are just 2 good names. Like
those are 2 house fillers, yeah.
Yeah, I used to follow like Hamid Diallo way long ago. He was in the EYBL like AAU circuit in Massachusetts. Like that's one that like Tremont Waters of the world went through, with the Nick Richards of the world and all them. So I've just been a Hammy fan for a while. Then we move on to the 3-point competition, and wait, so this is the first year that they did that 4-point shot, right?
Yeah, it was like the Mountain Dew, like the ball. It was like the same. I think it was the same distance as the 4-point like dot in the Big Three league, in Ice Cube's league.
Yeah, I remember I went to that over the summer.
Oh yeah,
remember Hag, like a goat. So he was supposed to go. He couldn't go anymore. So he's like, "Hey, do you want to go?" I'm like, "Sure." And I get there, and then they're just like, "Oh, what's your name?" I'm like, "Blah blah blah." And they're like, "You're not on the list." I'm like, "Oh, I'm underneath Hag, like a goat." And he's like, "You don't look like a goat." Like, right first, and then second.
Are you allowed
like,
to say that?
Yeah, I was gonna say first. I'm like, But second, I was like, "I want me to call him," so I called him. He was hammered. He was like, "It's not daddy." I'm like, "Dude, I just needed to say like coherently that I can be here." And then he's like, "I can be here." I'm like, "No. You don't say I can be here. Say Tyler Miller can be here." And he said it on the phone. And then I was like, "Trust me, like he's hammered. You can see him." The guy's like, "Yeah." The Big Three was actually kind of cool. Like that was a good league.
Oh yeah.
They took that way more serious than I thought they would. Like even after the press conferences, they were talking about kind of like how the NBA was the softer version of the Big Three. I'm like, you guys all left the NBA.
It's faster paced, but I feel like the NBA is still more higher competition because those guys are all like out of their element. They're older.
I saw Chris like Birdman Edison tear his ACL just like 5 feet in front of me. I'm like, oh my God, that was disgusting. He got up, just wasn't just like moving right. And then he just like started swearing at like the ref and everything. The ref's like, "What did I do?" He's like, "You told me it doesn't matter if
I'm not gonna fix your knee.
You still have a torn ACL."
Me blowing the whistle's not gonna change it.
That's what I never get ever. Whenever a significant injury happens and they blame it on the refs, I'm like, you idiot.
Well, except for that Zaza one on Kawhi, that was ridiculous. That should have been called a foul, and he slid underneath it, and then there was no foul call on that.
Yeah, but even then, foul call or not, the same outcome is going to be there.
That's true, but you could have had the 3 free throws. So they ended up losing that game, I think, too, right?
Yeah, they lost that series.
That was Spurs Warriors, right?
Yeah.
That was the last. That was before.
I think
that was before Kawhi did the smartest move in NBA history.
Yeah.
Like, I am sitting out the entire year. Screw you.
That was crazy.
But back did the same thing, but didn't.
Back to the 3-point contest.
Yeah, who even won? Buddy Hield won, right?
Buddy Hield, sharpshooter. And I think Devin Booker replaced Damian Lillard, right?
Yeah, because Dame got quote unquote hurt.
Dame just he wasn't he's bouncing up and down.
Career thing. Most impressive of all time is that Lil Wayne remember the lyrics of that song. That song is taking up the charts in a second. Like that, like if you go back in the history of Lil Wayne's like accomplishments, top 5 is remember the Damian Lillard song. Imagine how many times you had to like listen to that right before he's like, I have no idea what I'm about to go say. Damian Lillard looks perfectly fine. If you're a Blazers fan somehow by some miracle listening to this, perfectly fine. There's no reason to worry. Speaking of that, real quick, I just want to talk about a take that I've had forever. You trade Damian Lillard because the Blazers aren't going to be anything.
I don't know why they haven't.
I've been saying this forever. CJ McCollum is not as good as Damian Lillard, but he's like a 1B. He's
still a star.
He's 1, he's 2. He's very good. You get rid of Dame because you can get so much back. The Blazers, if they want to continue to make it to the Western Conference Finals as your best career, your best season, go for it. Like you guys are really good at that.
You got to package Hassan Whiteside and Damian Lillard for someone. Get someone nice. Get some nice players.
The small ball era.
Yeah.
Like, out of the only one who really did like some of that size is Drummond, just because he gets all the rebounds. Embiid, but he didn't even start.
That he's not surviving it anymore.
Yeah, Cleveland's where you go to die. Ask Kevin Love.
Yikes.
They just got rid of their coach, Beeline.
Yeah, he like stepped down, or he's like staying in their organization.
I don't know. Cleveland.
Cleveland is a mess.
He calls players thugs. That was awesome.
Like, I would say a bunch of slugs, and he said I call them a bunch of thugs. That's pretty bad.
Oh man.
Like Eric Bledsoe tweeting, "I don't want to be here." And you're like, "Oh, that's they weren't."
I made a mistake. Mom, come pick me up. And he was coming off the national championship. That was when Michigan just lost the Natty, I think. Michigan lost, or was it Texas Tech? Sorry. So season afterwards, John Beilein leaves Michigan. Yeah. I was say, sorry, Texas Tech was last year.
For a while.
Yeah.
All right, on to the dunk contest, which is the most controversial thing of the night. Aaron Gordon, quote unquote, robs. Derrick Jones Jr. is just really good at dunking. But I know how to fix the dunk contest. After crunching, connecting dots.
Fix the dunk contest?
Look like Charlie Kelly and Always Sunny connecting all the dots. You get one mulligan for a miss. It's like, all right, you missed. You're fine. And then
on every dunk or
in every round you go, you get one mulligan. So you can miss it once. If you
you saw that. That with Aaron Gordon.
And then if you miss the second one, it's -1 point. So the highest what you can get is a 9. Highest you can get is 9. But then you also include 0.5 because that makes it like actually like, oh, this was good, but this could be changed. The judges are too stupid to realize.
Like, you got celebrities.
Bozeman and all of them. Like, you need professional like dunk contest judges. Just be like, hey, this is what's gonna get people interesting. So you get a mulligan if you miss. If you miss again, it's -1. The highest you can get is 9. If you dunk it, all that math comes in. If you miss like 2 dunks, 3 dunks, whatever it is. So the highest you can get is like a 7, but then you add the 0.5s and it's like, oh, that was cool, but it's not a 10. I'm going to give it a 9.5. That makes the judging system so much easier. You kind of judge it like UFC in a way and be like, oh, you did this, this, and this, and this. You didn't be like, oh, he did a 360 alley-oop over this guy, and that just looked cool, but it was also his 15th try, but you're going to get a 50 anyways. Like that's the part that doesn't make sense. Right. You can't take away the fact that these guys are doing absolutely unbelievable stuff on the basketball court. Like that's why dunk contest is just fun. But I just want to hear you guys take on kind of like if you're a fan of the dunk contest, if you want to see change, if you were happy with the outcome, all that stuff.
I was definitely a big fan of this dunk contest. I was watching every single one at the bar. It's like, oh, everyone's just watching going, oh man, holy cow, how did he do that? How is he doing that? And everyone's going like 10 out of 10, all of them. And then Derrick Jones had like a 48, and then Aaron Gordon.
Pass Brown.
Yeah, and Pat Connaughton was there. And Aaron Gordon had the 47, the controversial one where he did look like he cleared Taco, but there's like, if you slow motion it, it's like it just appears like he vaulted almost.
See, the funniest part about that is like he jumped 7'6" in the air, but Taco's 7'7", so he can't really like. No, he jumped 7 feet in the air.
He jumped over the man. He's 7 feet tall.
What's your thoughts on this whole debacle going on?
So I don't understand how Aaron Gordon can have, I think it was like 4 or 5 straight 50s and then not win the dunk competition. Like, he blew everyone out of the water. Like, there was that one dunk where he literally jumped, got the ball, and then like turned behind him with it. That was dirty. He had to go behind him to get the rim. That was a good dunk. I don't know how he didn't win.
And he had that windmill one off the side of the glass too.
Yeah.
That was the craziest. That was on the first try.
That one.
That was the best ones I've seen in a minute.
That one was wild.
I was watching a couple of them leading up to it, just to like, I don't know, just like I had nothing to do on Saturday morning, so I just was like rewatching a couple, and I'm like, I have no idea how people like create new dunks. It's like, oh, he copied Levine.
I know,
like,
it's been.
Do you know how many times you can jump in the air, do X amount of things in the air, and then it's like, oh, that's new.
You go back in time where JaVale McGee brought out a second rim, the double rims.
That's what they need, dude. They need to bring the props back.
Yeah.
It was bad with the props for a while when it was like DeMar DeRozan era of the dunk contest, how he'd never win. He'd always blame props and everything when
they got
Blake
weird.
Griffin jumps over the license plate of a car and all
well,
that
even
stuff.
last year they had like someone had the airplane in Charlotte. Who was that? That was bad. And then like just landed on the plane and just destroyed it.
Smoked it. Yeah. It was who? Oh my God. Who was in the dunk contest last year?
Doesn't matter because he didn't win.
Won the dunk contest last year.
I know Aaron Gordon. He had the little hoverboard and
Hammy.
the thing he had.
Yeah.
He had the drone too. That drone dunk was pretty cool.
That was cool. I do remember that a few years. That was part of the iconic one.
Yeah.
The last Aaron Gordon one. Yeah. That was Aaron Gordon, wasn't it? It
was. I don't know if it was that Zach LaVine one. I think it might have been a year.
That's the only 2 he's been in.
Oh.
So.
I thought he went back without him.
I don't think Gordon used. Did Gordon use a drone? Or was it no, I don't think Gordon did use a drone because I just watched.
Gordon jumped over the mascot.
Yeah. So who was it? It was Hammy in that John Collins. Oh, John Collins there.
John Collins. That was bad.
Took out the
so
plane,
bad.
but still threw it down. So we took out the plane. That's the caption. Like, took out the plane, but still dunked it. All right, so you ran through a wall and you still got the job. That was
It's like an action shot kind of thing. But back to what you were saying, Tyler, I think there is one way you can kind of change the dunk contest or just make it so that there's not these tiebreakers at the end, especially when you have a guy like Aaron Gordon who's scoring 50 points per dunk. He's doing something creative every single time and just getting the highest score possible. You got to be able to have these like totals. You got to see what they were able to do in the first few rounds. I don't know if Derek Jones had 50s all the way throughout, but you got to be able to take into consideration what these guys were able to do before they even got to the final round and see like, do you guys, would you agree with that? Like if you add up the scores and maybe had like an aggregate kind of thing at the very end?
Yeah, like a tiebreaker rule.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. That's
or
cool.
even it's like
you take the final
you could do it this way. Not even your final score, because if you have like actually I think this would be the exact same outcome. I was just gonna say average the 4.
Yeah.
Just like you have like 3 dunks in the beginning.
But then you have one bad dunk and you're
But
done.
you have I was gonna say because like that would help the total and then I mean I like that. You just add them up.
Right. You just have a
Isn't
number.
that what they do though?
I don't. Well, it's just
in the
like
first round. That's technically what they do.
50 plus 50 kind of thing for the first round. What if you just what if it went through the entire contest and not just one round? Like it just didn't.
I think, but that would be like a walk-off dunk. Like he had like 50, 50, 50.
Okay.
So Aaron Gordon, he had a perfect score. And if someone already doesn't have a perfect score, it's like, well, the highest I can get is second place. Why am I even doing this?
Yeah, that's fair. But nonetheless, Aaron Gordon, I do believe he got robbed. He jumped over Taco Fall and didn't win the dunk contest.
Yeah, I mean, he's done. He's retired. Wait, what was his final dunks? He jumped over Taco. What did he do before that? It was,
I think it was the off the glass one, off the side of the glass.
Yeah. And then what was Derek Jones Jr.? He dunked over
the same thing.
People. Yeah, dunked over 2 people, and then.
Well, Derek Jones did the same thing off the. Side
Except he just without the
way. Without the 360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
It was a great contest.
D-Wade, the assist in the night. All
right.
Oh, did you hear
the
this
meme that came out of it?
So this is what happened. Allegedly, this is what like Common started telling. Common. I think he was judging. Some judge.
Yeah, Common was judging.
So this is all right. Then he came out and said
Common was
this
everywhere this weekend.
Yeah, he said some story on like a what's that called? Blank in the morning. What's his name?
Maddie in the morning.
No. Oh my god, I totally forget his name. Sway. All
right.
That like radio show. So the plan was go overtime. Everyone's gonna keep the exact same vote. We're gonna just make them. And D-Wade's like, bet, I hear you. Nice. And he's like, I'm gonna give him a 10. They're gonna go dunk again. And then 9. And then Aaron Gordon loses because D-Wade. So he's like, oh, D-Wade's saying, I'm not the only one who voted 9, get off me. He's like, the other judges said the plan and you didn't follow through with it, dude. Like, this is your fault. But
they should be able to tie. Like, if you can have co-winners of like rookie of the year or something, you should be able to tie in the dunk contest. Like, just acknowledge that both these guys are amazing and the best at what they do.
Yeah, this is like giving everyone like a participation rubber. Like, oh, good job,
well,
you played this sport.
All right, this is what you do. If you tie
if you give
3 dunks, if you do 3 dunks, and they like in the final round you tie, you just play 1-on-1 to like 3.
Whoever
does that stuff. But if you do 1-on-1 to 3, but if you dunk the ball 1 time, the game's over. Because you ended on a dunk. That's how you fix it.
Skill part of it.
Adam Silver, this thing's coming to your front desk in the morning. Like,
you can't travel no more.
This to your secretary. We'll just polish your head off. Be like, this is getting to you.
Is Zach LaVine going to be in it next year?
No, he's probably done.
Point contest.
What else do you need to prove?
I hope he is.
I wanted him to be in the win the 3-point contest because later when he's an all-star and everything, he just ball out for the MVP so you can do a clean sweep. I don't think anybody's done that.
Have like every single trophy.
Yeah, like a 3-point dunk and I don't think anybody's done that. Like Zach LaVine should always be in All-Star Weekend. He's just extra human.
Just a great basketball player.
Has he won the skills challenge yet?
I doubt it.
So keep put submit your name and everything.
Put your name. Except pick up the phone every time.
Yeah. Plus, you got money on the line. Who cares?
Exactly.
You get exposure. You get social media clicks, which is all that matters in the NBA.
Yeah. You get the kids seeing you.
On to the All-Star game. One of the better All-Star games in a while. However, I think it was rigged, and I'm fine with it. But you're telling me that the first quarter, like LeBron's team conveniently goes up by a lot, and then the second quarter, Giannis's team wins by like, what was it, 19?
Yeah, it was by a lot.
You guys the first, you can take the second, third, we'll keep it close, so we have a close ending to the game. I'm like, something's up in the air, dude. So it just happened
I don't think so.
That by the last yeah, but they're with each other all weekend.
Yeah,
like you practice together, do all the like stuff together. You know each other already. Like all these people are already friends. I think they just wanted to have the best show possible. 100%. What I like was the last quarter, obviously, because everybody liked it. However, that took 45 minutes, and I'm not even kidding. Like from start to end, 45 minutes is
fun.
But it was freaking fun. I'll take that every year. The last 5 minutes of the game, you should. Not even 5. Because there's no time. So if you're in 5 points, you should have to check the ball up. Like you can't be shooting free throws to win the game. After that, like
I did feel that. I think that was the only knock I had on the game. Like it should end in a 3-pointer, a dunk, or something, just a field goal.
If it's a shooting foul, I kind of get it, but you should get one free throw on the ball.
Keep possession.
One free throw on the ball, but that also would be like, oh, Harden passed that layup up.
Yeah.
And he had a beat, and
that would have won.
Giannis coming down. Not even that. They would just pop the ball. They blocked this.
James Harden could have won it twice, and he passed it. Yeah. Well, not passed, but got the offensive foul at the end.
Then that, like, if you do no shooting fouls, if anyone's gonna come to a game winner, like you have an Embiid club to your forehead and you just knocked unconscious. I'm like, hey, like we don't need that in the All-Star game. But you can't end that exciting a quarter when everybody's all eyes on the All-Star game for the first time in a long time. Everyone on Twitter is just universally agreeing on one thing for the first time ever. And now it's on a free throw. I did like how Davis allegedly, which I do think he missed on purpose, but he allegedly misses the first one and then hits the second one for a little bit of like, oh, wait a minute. Because it was like one of those misses that you could just like aim at, like the back rim. That was when you're in when you were playing on your hoop on 7-5, you learn how to dunk. I learned how to dunk by throwing it off the back rim and pop perfectly above the rim just to dunk it. I'm like, you can aim for that back rim. It just happened to be so conveniently timed that it went boom perfectly out. Hits the last one. Game over. Kawhi wins MVP. Kawhi won MVP.
Was wet.
I thought it was going to be Simmons for the longest time because in the first and second quarter, he was just going way too hard. I'm like, my God, if I had to hear from Sixers fans, especially in Pennsylvania, just that Ben Simmons won an MVP, I'm going to kill myself.
It'll never happen in real life, though. So. I had a ton of fun watching it. I thought it was the best of both worlds where you kind of get the first 3 quarters, same old All-Star game. You get to see the best players in the world doing like the best they can to just put on a show. The alley, like it felt like every 3-4 seconds there was an alley-oop or a 3-pointer. So
terrible ones too. Some of them weren't even close.
And they were fast. It was fast-paced. It was fun. It was not fast-paced. It was like a slow jog with exciting results. But then the fourth quarter came and it was like the comeback and the close back and forth action at the very end, and then it coming down to the free throw at the very end. I thought it was a ton of fun. I think the NBA made the right decision in changing the format to that. I think Elam ending that it's called that they use. I think they use it in the Big Three, don't they?
Yeah. So Ice Cube today saying that he wants the Big Three to get credit for the All-Star game.
Shout out Ice Cube.
Got a point.
I'll give it to him.
I'll go back to it. They were exciting, entertaining games when I went. It was in Providence. They were just very fun to watch when it was like, I think they played to 50. 25 was halftime. So when someone had like 40, even 46, because the 4-point shot was there. It was like, oh, anything could happen right now. Literally, the game could end from a half-court shot. And that just like, it makes you like pay so much more attention when the other team's in offense. It's just like pickup. Like if you're playing at 21 and it's 19-16 and you don't want to be like winner stays, you don't want to get off the court. You want to stay on the court. So that it's just the natural just basketball mentality towards the ending of the game. But Jake, what are your thoughts on All-Star game, All-Star weekend?
So I liked the game itself. I thought it was really good. I liked all the Kobe tributes they did. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the little free throw line, they do that new thing with the shot clock. They like put this time there. So they had that like Kobe. That was pretty cool. But I hated the free throw ending. That was ridiculous. I hated that. That was like that ruined the game for me, honestly, because I was getting so I was getting so hyped. I was like, oh, this is like so good. This is so awesome. And then like the free throw happened. I was like, no, you're not gonna do it on a free throw. And then of course, it happened. But I think the whole kid thing too, like playing for the charity, that was pretty cool. Yeah. They put the kids in like those really good seats. No, seriously, like
no. Like, it's great idea, phenomenal idea. It just when you look at the kids, be like Team LeBron. It was like, oh, we lost. We're not getting money. Yeah. Like that's like they're getting $200,000.
They were on camera a lot. Like anytime like someone on Team LeBron would throw it down, he's look over, or like TNT would have all the blue shirts on, and they'd be like, "Woo!"
I thought it was a cool
and then
idea,
you'd miss whatever was happening next
because
action was happening so fast.
Just me being like the sinister human I am, the walking dark humor. I find the worst stuff funny. Like it's bad news. Like I keep everything clean. I don't swear. I don't do anything like that. But the stupid dark stuff always, it's so fun. Like, if you have a sense of humor, I'm can't laugh at that. I'm just like, you take a lap. Like, get over yourself. Who are you to be oh my God.
It's even worse because they had so many chances to win it too.
Oh, 100%. But this is one of the things. So the whole Dwayne Wade news coming out about like his son that's identifying as a girl. Let me start this saying, good for her, right? Like that's the right way. Good for her. Like,
yeah, congrats.
Live your life as you want to do it. Do you guys follow Young Thug on Twitter, aka Jesus Christ 2.0?
I do not.
No, I don't.
Should I?
Buddy. So Young Thug, he tweets something. I need to find this tweet. It is phenomenal.
Give us like some context.
Him in future. It's just like 1 and 2, just the funniest people on the planet, just unintentionally. They
just bounce off each other.
I mean, they're yin and yang. They're peanut butter and jelly. They're cocaine and waffles. Like they just get it. Talladega Nights, baby. All right, let's see what he says. Oh my God, I need to find the tweet because I can't not give it justice. Oh, I think he deleted it.
Was it the video that he?
Gotta be a screenshot of it
that came out. It was like I don't remember who it was, but some rapper was giving him a hard time about it. Is that?
No. All right. So this is what happened. So he tweets being like talking about Dwayne Wade's kid, like identifying as a girl, but he called her he, and then people just went off in the comments. Like I don't know, it's Twitter. People always complain. So people are going off in the comments, is like yelling at Young Thug, and then he replies to his tweet. He was like, "Hey, like I know I probably said the wrong verb and everything, the wrong pronoun." But God doesn't make mistakes. You know what he's talking about. So he's like, oh, so he's just calling. So people are freaking out. It's like, oh, so now you're calling him a mistake? He's like, I'm just saying God put him there for a reason. I'm like, he gets it. He freaking gets it. Just I'm so mad he deleted the tweet. I'm not doing it any justice right now. I was in tears laughing. Like there's very few things like when you're on your phone, you never actually laugh when you do LOL.
Yeah, you just kind of like blow out your nose a little.
Yeah.
Like
even then, dude, I had to put my phone down because the way he worded it, the way he spells, it is so funny. Give Young Thug a follow.
Shout out Young Thug.
He's goat. All right, and then anything else from All-Star Weekend that was kind of exciting? Kemba Walker played way too many minutes.
He played a lot.
Just like, buddy, hey, like the hospital Celtics are very much a thing. Get off the floor.
Behind the back pass through LeBron's legs. That was pretty nifty.
Basketball players are the best athletes on the planet, and I don't want to hear anything different. They are built as like some are just built as NFL linebackers, and they can jump 14 feet in the air. Simple as that.
Oh, and then Kemba Walker, showing exactly why Sabonis wasn't an all-star, just shaking bacon.
That was good.
Sabonis had no idea what he was doing.
Took him to the rack.
They're the best humans on the planet. Why am I here? Bring your son to work day, and he
didn't know what he was doing.
All right, so
I think this is definitely one of the best All-Star weekends.
Yeah, it's back.
In the last 10 years.
Yep.
People will always watch it no matter what, and after every single one, this is what happens. It's a cycle.
They're gonna compare it to this one.
They watch. This is what happens every single year. They watch it, they're entertained the entire time. They like it. They might not admit they like it, but you sit down and watch the whole thing. That means you like it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they might tweet about it, say like, "Oh, that was awesome," blah blah blah. A week later, the dunk contest stinks. The All-Star game's terrible. They need a change. And the next year comes and the whole cycle repeats. That's why just people are so stupid. People are just But NBA returns tomorrow. I don't really know who plays. The Celtics return Friday. Who are we playing off the rip? We're playing in Houston. Minnesota.
I believe.
We have a tough stretch coming up.
We have a tough schedule. We're going out west again. Second west road trip. We didn't get them all out of the way the first time.
We got at Minnesota, at LA Lakers, Houston. At Trailblazers, at Jazz, home against Houston.
And I'll be if we're doing a podcast again this time next week, I'll be in one of those cities.
Oh, aren't you going to the Trailblazers game?
Going to the Blazers game.
Hey.
Excited. Flying up there. I've never been. Pacific Northwest.
We face the Nets at home.
But that's Kyrie's first game back in the Garden, I think.
No, he's out.
I doubt he's playing that game.
He's out for a while. Shoulder, allegedly.
Shoulder injury.
I was supposed to fly out for that one too. I flew out for the last one because I wanted to see that game because I want to just dismantle Kyrie's ego with 30,000 of my closest friends at TD Garden, and he is so frustrating because he has not played in that one back in November, and he's probably not playing this one in March, knowing how he works.
He also doesn't play in Cleveland anymore.
Exactly.
Here that I like
the world.
I like Kyrie to an extent.
I don't.
Some people like in Boston, like Dylan McDonald, for example. Let me just put him on blast. One of the wildest tweets I've ever seen at the old Twitter.com. He replied to Kyrie out for a game after Kobe died because he went home crying, and then Dylan's like, "We don't care about his feelings anymore." I'm like, what? His friend just died. You gotta look at it as a human sometimes. As a human being, Kyrie Irving probably has all well intentions. He's not an evil human being. He just hurt a lot of people in Boston's feelings, and they can't get over it. I am not a Kyrie fan. You have to get over it. If you were gonna live in the past,
Kyrie
keep talking about Kyrie.
Either.
Yeah. Sure. But if you can't get over the fact that we are a good basketball team now without Kyrie Irving, we do not need to keep bringing up Kyrie Irving. We can let him be. Go tell everyone in the world the earth's flat. Go to another mountain and get baptized as whatever you were, Little Mountain or something like that. Go do whatever makes Kyrie Irving happy. There's no reason the Boston fans would still chirp him all this much. I'm not going to bat for Kyrie, but let's get over it. It's the same exact couple jokes here and there. It's the same exact, Zane gotcha. This is getting old. It's just not funny. It's all stale. There's nothing new you can make fun of him for.
Tyler, I hear you. I see you, but I still hate Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, my ears are shut.
In one out the other.
It makes sense, but if you want to look at the grand scheme of things, I'm sure he has well intentions in mind.
Yeah.
He also just beat Jaylen Brown for vice president of the Players Association.
That shocked me.
That's like the blind leading the blind. Are you kidding me?
Unreal. Jaylen Brown should have been.
No, that's honestly fine. He's focusing. Yeah, he's been president for a while. Okay. No, Jaylen Brown's focusing on being president of the United States. Never mind. He's gonna
Jaylen Brown's focusing on winning a championship.
I've said this every single time someone and I have talked about Jaylen Brown. When the Jaylen Brown story is all said and done and he kicks the old bucket, he is going to be remembered for what he does outside of basketball more than he will be remembered for the NBA player. He is unbelievably a smart human being. He has legitimate goals. He doesn't do endorsements all that much compared to Tatum. I'm not saying doing endorsements is bad. Doing endorsements is how you get money.
Tatum's doing the same thing Gronk did.
Yeah. You save all your NBA money, you spend your endorsement money. Perfect. That's what Bradley Beal does. And Bradley Beal and Tatum are his best friends. So he's like, hey, do this. Trust me. When you're going to get a $100-something million extension, don't touch any of that. You get interest building up. You have $100+ million just in your bank. And then you have endorsement money keep coming in. But going back to Jaylen Brown, he goes to all these events. Do you guys listen to Woj Pod or All the Smoke or anything like that?
I don't, but I probably should soon.
So All the Smoke actually just phenomenal. They have.
I know you're gassing that one up all the time.
very, very good. Like, I will highly recommend it. It is way better than ours. If you're listening to this, I don't know what the
Wait,
what? What are you doing?
What are you talking about?
Jaylen Brown went on one of them, and then he was talking about how he goes to Harvard all the time. He goes to MIT. He goes to all these things, and he doesn't invite any basketball media. The one rule is you can't have any basketball media come, and you can't have anyone affiliated with the NBA come. Let me just talk. Let me want to help people. He goes to all these Congress stuff. He goes to all these book clubs for kids, and he doesn't invite any media. So like all these, the only NBA media thing that really was broadcasted was his gala over the summer, the one that GRD and Kev went to. Like that was NBA, but that all went towards like a good cause. Like he's so for the people that he's bound to just be an overwhelmingly successful person, especially after basketball. That's why I'm a Jaylen Brown stan. I'm the biggest Jaylen Brown fan walking this earth, and will fight anybody and everybody, a.k.a. Stafford, who said, I already know who Jaylen Brown is like 20 episodes ago. I haven't forgotten about that.
Hey, you were defending him when we had a show like the few days after he got that contract extension, and like everybody on Twitter was like, what are the Celtics doing?
Buddy, I see.
I love that contract.
And Tyler stood up for him.
And you know the salary cap's going to go up. Like, there's no reason the NBA is the biggest, like the most followed league in the world. Not in the country because football is a thing. But China, do you know how many people are in China? China's going to kill all of us. The end of the world starts with China. They get mad. They send over ships. They send over planes. And there's nothing but people. Yeah, they're all probably like 5'5", like little.
They got some off-brand Corona.
What they're doing. They have that's like that hypothetical. A couple like 2 years ago was like, what would you rather have to fight like 10,000 rats, like 5 gorillas? And stuff. Chinese the 10,000 rats. They don't stop. They keep coming back.
Oh man!
You ever see like a Theo Vaughn thing? Theo Vaughn, he was like, yeah, like, China's going to kill us.
You sound nervous.
Oh, I'm terrified. I'm more worried about them than global warming or all this stuff. Global warming. What? I'm not gonna have a cold winter. Perfect. Like there's been no snow to shovel. Awesome.
Cool.
I love the snow. I hate this winter. No snow.
Yeah. I mean, wait.
I understand what you're saying.
No, you're in Arizona. You don't get any snow ever.
Yeah, you don't get
crap. I'm jumbo chilling right now. Yeah, it's hot out right now.
Yeah. How?
Like 80 degrees outside right now.
Let's call this small talk segment. How's the weather there?
Oh, it's great. We got Dan Allison out here. He said can't beat the weather. He's at some spring training stuff right now before games start. Touring all the camps.
How old is he?
I don't know how old. He's in high school.
I think he's my age.
Yeah.
Junior.
Senior maybe? Junior, senior, somewhere in there. Yeah. But 80 degrees. It's like 70 during the winter. You can go hot tubbing at night. It's like 50 degrees out.
I mean, you go hot tubbing in Maine right now.
Yeah.
It's cold, but shit, you can go.
You can go hot tubbing anytime you want.
Dude, if I ever lived in somewhere over there, like my skin complexion is like just a white piece of paper. I
go
can
down
literally, like,
you might be on this level soon.
Blizzard, and I could just be torched and just walk in from shoveling. I have like a 4-degree sunburn. I'm like, how did this happen? Anyways, Celtics season. Nice. We got a good stretch coming up. We're gonna kind of preview it for a second, kind of talk about just what happened early in the year. Like I think they're overperforming than what everybody expected. What are they? They're 37-16.
38-16, I believe.
Wow, that was a total guess.
Wow.
Are they? All right, so they had a really good year. You have Kemba coming in, who is unbelievably
good and green,
selfish, which is what the Celtics needed. And then you have Tatum taking a superstar step. You have Jaylen Brown taking a massive step. Gordon Hayward's finally playing well. Marcus Smart is one of the best shooters on the entire planet.
That doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense to me.
Daniel Tice doing stuff that nobody expected Daniel Tice to do. Robert Williams is coming back soon, which is going to be an unbelievably underrated piece to the Celtics offense and most importantly defense. You got Brad Wanamaker, who's a good backup point guard. I don't care. I did not like Wanamaker last year. He made me put my foot in my mouth this year. Doing good. He's a good backup point guard.
Yep.
Who else we got to talk about? Sevy doesn't do anything.
Semi, what are you talking about? Semi does a lot of stuff that does not show up in the box stat.
But I also see that.
Solid
But
defense.
I also see it. Yeah. He plays solid defense.
Kryptonite.
But this no. But this is the thing. People have been saying he's been playing solid defense for years. He's been getting absolutely torched on some plays this year. And I'm a huge Semi fan. He's built like an action figure, like one of those WWE figures. Yeah. That is his body type. He is getting smoked on some of these. So I'm like, give Semi's minutes to Grant Williams, who actually proves himself.
He is good.
He's unreal. Well, also, people are looking like this. How is a 2-time SEC Player of the Year good at basketball? I'm like, take a while.
How does this work?
Yeah, like he's good at basketball. Danny Ainge got him like on a good pick. You get Romeo Langford getting healthy, who's I think he has a +6 wingspan. I think his wingspan is like 7 feet. He's 6'6".
Yeah.
Carson Edwards kind of stinks. Who else? We got Vincent Poirier. I have no idea why you signed him. Taco Fall making some here and there. Ennis Cantor. Jake, you like Ennis Cantor? There's only one correct answer here.
I love Ennis Cantor.
Right,
love the guy.
Great answer. He does his job.
He's doing exactly what you signed him for.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've said this since the day we signed him. We signed him. You know you're not going to sign Ennis Cantor to play defense. You know you're going to sign him to get offensive rebounds and putbacks and occasionally snap for 20 points and get like 13 rebounds. And he does that. So you can't get mad at him. With Daniel Tice especially, he's playing that well. And you have Robert Williams.
He's having a good season. He's like averaging like 10-ish points a game. And like, I think his best game, he's had like 19, 20 rebounds off the bench.
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes he plays like an absolute moron.
Yeah. He's frustrating sometimes, but those big guys can do that sometimes.
You take it, though. Like I will gladly take productive Ennis Cantor minutes on a cheap contract, too. I think it was like a 1 year. Was it a 2-year, 10
I think it's a 2-year, 15, I thought.
I hope it's 2 year. I hope he's staying.
Or was it, I think it was 110 with a 215 option or something?
That option is yes as of right now.
All right. So what do you think the ending of the season kind of looks like for the Celtics? Where do they go from here? We're third in the East, couple games up on the Miami Heat, the Indiana Pacers, the Philadelphia 76ers.
I think if they stay healthy, I think their pace continues, and I think they find themselves in the 2 spot as a 2 seed at the end of the season, right behind Milwaukee. But in the case, like as always, like you're gonna have injuries. They're inevitable when in basketball and sports. I think the lowest you're gonna see the Celtics drop is potentially to maybe the 4 spot, like bubble on the 5. I think Miami eventually passes the Celtics in the rankings, and I think it's a battle between them for that 2 seed, especially down the stretch. I think Miami's gonna come in hot. I think what they did at the trade deadline only getting better, and I think they're going to finally mesh. And they were good before, but don't get me wrong, Andre Iguodala is a huge pickup. And Jay Crowder, can't forget the ye old Boston Celtic. But I think Miami's going to be vying for that 2 seed as well at the end of the season.
Yeah, so Celtics, they have 28 games left, and their 7 of their final 19 are with top 6 teams in the East. They get the Bucks twice, Heat twice, and Pacers twice. It's a race for second place right now in the East. Milwaukee's running away with first place. They're going to finish at the 1st seed. But the Celtics need to finish at least the 3 seed or higher, because I don't want to see Milwaukee to the Eastern Conference Finals. Because we see Milwaukee in round 2, like that's going to be awful.
Happened last year.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see how Milwaukee does. I mean, is this thing where they lost in the conference finals? Was it raining out of gas, or was it he legitimately got shut down? So I mean, I don't know. I don't want to see in the conference finals, but Celtics currently, what are they? 1.5 out of second, 3 ahead of 4, and 4.5 ahead of 5. So they're in a good spot, but they got to keep playing, and hopefully Robert Williams comes back and starts being productive.
Yeah, because he was producing before. I don't even know what kind of injury he has, but he's been out for a long time.
I think it's a hip. His hip, okay. I think.
Oh, he's an old man. I do remember that now. But he's been out for a while. Doesn't even feel like.
Yeah, I think they had no reason to rush him. Like, it's not like they tanked. They've been playing well. Just get totally healthy, dude. Yeah. This is your 2nd year in the league. You're still young. You'll get healthy quicker as compared if you're older, and have to just do the everyday aches and pains and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I think they stay 2-3. Like they go in between there.
Best case scenario, yeah.
Like Jake said, I was actually going to bring that up. It's a good point. I don't want to get 4, because if you get 4, you get Milwaukee next round. and then season ends in the second round for the back-to-back year to Milwaukee. We don't want that. That is bad news. Milwaukee is a tank. I don't think they make the finals. I think the Bucks smoke them. The Bucks are just an unbelievable basketball team. Giannis,
and they're so big.
Giannis is going to be the face of the NBA for so long.
Yeah, and their starting lineup is massive.
Yeah, they're the better version of the Sixers.
Yeah,
massive team. Except these people are good players.
They're much better.
I think I talked about this. I don't know if I talked about this on this show or just like with my friends. The Bucks did it right in the fact that they're a small market team. You don't sign the big name free agents. You get lucky in the draft. Yeah, I was talking about this with Babs. You get lucky in the draft and you just happen to fall upon going to go down as one of the best basketball players of all time, and Giannis. You don't sign superstar talent to go around Giannis. You sign playmakers, you sign wing shooters, you sign quarter shooters, you sign 3-and-D guys. It doesn't have to be superstars. If you can get a team together that revolves around your best player and he stays healthy, then the Bucks are what, like 40-6 or something like that. That's what happens. Like the Warriors, for example, they did it similarly. You don't sign a big name player. You build through the draft. Like, this is why I don't get any Warriors hate at all. Like, if you hate the Warriors, you're an absolute moron. Like, during their whole
hate
stretch.
Kevin Durant.
They did it. They did it perfect. You draft Clay, Steph, and Draymond. 3 great draft picks. Obviously, turn out for the best. They're all Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the money to sign a free agent that will help your team. You go sign him. What sport are you not gonna go sign the best available free agent to help
player in the
team,
world too,
to help your team, because you are able to do it? Who cares if you went 73-9 the year before? If you want to make a dynasty, if you want to keep winning championships, if you want just people to care about the Golden State Warriors, that they did their job A++. There is no reason people should hate on the Warriors. You can hate on Kevin Durant. Go nuts. You should not hate on the Warriors.
I want to just add to that real quick. The Warriors, man, they're going to be dirty these, next 5 years. Think about it. They're like the worst team in the NBA right now. Next year, they're getting Steph Curry, Clay back. They got Wiggins, and they're going to have the first overall pick in the draft, probably. Not to mention they still have Draymond.
That's
Top
what
3,
the Spurs did with they didn't get
Tim
the first
Duncan.
pick, but that's how they got Tim Duncan over the Celtics.
Yep.
They had David Robinson. They kind of tanked a little bit. They had a bad year. I think Robinson might have got hurt or something like that. Did not play well. You get Tim Duncan, they're just good again. Simple as that. Then you get Tony Parker, you get Manu Ginobili, and then you just happen to fall into Kawhi Leonard, who you trade away. But I don't know. Like I said this earlier, like, people don't factor luck into sports as much as it should be. Luck plays such a huge aspect into sports, but I don't know. I could talk about this for a while. Let's transition real quick. I aim for like an hour or so we don't bore you guys with that. But the Astros, idiots. Rob Manfred, bigger idiot. Every single time a new report comes out about this stuff, or every single time someone says anything,
they're talking with their mouth full right now. It is brutal.
Just shut up. Everything becomes so much worse whenever anyone says anything. Like, Rob Manfred calls his World Series title a hunk of metal. Awesome. That's what everyone
We're not going to take it away.
Bozo. Like,
gosh, it's literally called the Commissioner's Trophy, and he's bad mouthing it.
However, having something called the Manfred Report, that's awesome. Like, just having like, this is the most important report in baseball on his mind. Like, that's pretty cool. But Brandon, if you kind of want to break it down, the newest aspects to this thing. Oh, I have one question before this. I missed all this. I totally forgot how all this started. Like, how did someone accuse him of?
Oh,
they have enough built up like evidence. I know all about the situation. I just totally forget who started it.
So there's this reporter with NBC. His name is Evan Drellick.
He came out of Boston, right?
Yeah, he was reporting on the Sox and said they did it too. And guess what? They didn't.
That comes out Friday, though, I thought.
That should come out soon. Yeah. And it'll be proven that Alex Cora did nothing wrong. He's actually a scapegoat in this entire thing. It seemed like he was the mastermind, like the Walter White type, but ends up he's just...
Wait, did he do anything for the Sox or nothing for the Astros? Like, he's totally...
It's looking like nothing for either as of right now.
Wow, that's crazy.
And the Sox were kind of quick to pull the trigger. But you go back to the reporter, Evan Drellick, who reported this, and then he gets his sources. He started talking to players about what was going on. And then Mike Fiers, he's a pitcher for the Astros that got left off the World Series roster in 2017. So he was kind of, I don't know, upset, angry, probably a little bummed he's not getting to pitch in the World Series. And then he eventually signs with the Oakland A's a year after. Still technically won the World Series with the Astros, got a ring. But he had like the tell-all interview with Jurelic, who like he spilled the beans about what was going on in Houston. And then once that report came out, MLB started digging, doing their reporting, starting to try to figure out, piece this situation together and what exactly went down in Houston. And that's when other names started getting dropped, like New York and Boston. But seems like they weren't doing anything. It's as near beyond the line that was crossed in Houston. But that's where we are today. The reports since came out, the punishments have been dished out. And Rob Manfred's like backing up what his punishments were for the Astros, and that's where we're getting into even more dirty territory, dirty water, if you will, about what is happening. Like Tyler just said about him calling it just they're not going to take away the World Series trophy because it's just a piece of metal, and it's literally called the Commissioner's Trophy. And Rob Manfred had that to say about it. So he is not on the greatest seat right now. He inherited a good game of baseball, but it has since been a little bit tarnished. But this is the most baseball has been talked about in an offseason in a very long time.
Yeah, my whole thing with not taking away the whole trophy thing, like people saying that they should take it away, you can't replay the game, and especially in baseball. Baseball is one of those sports where like the worst team in the league could beat the best team in the league, just like depending on the days. But my whole problem with the whole like punishment system is that the players did not get punished. Like, how can you find the organization, the GM and manager, they both lose their jobs, and the players just get like away with it? Like, come on, that's ridiculous. And the whole two-way thing, like, don't rip my jersey. Come on.
See, I'm not buying
I didn't want to
that
show my
like
shirt. I didn't want to show my abs. Come on, get out of here.
As Brandon Watabe, as an intellectual myself, I'm not buying the whole buzzer thing until I see some like solid evidence about it. But because it's all just been like online people in their tinfoil hats and whatnot, just kind of like conspiring and trying to figure out what the Astros did wrong. Because like we know they did something wrong. We know they used the trash can scheme, which is the center of this entire investigation. But the buzzer thing, it's a little much for me to believe at this point, unless something else comes out in a future report. But
even if it wasn't the buzzer, though, it has to be something like that. It's just a whole weird situation.
Yeah, it was weird. But even going back, like the internet lies all the time. I saw people talking about how like he didn't want to rip it off because or like not the ripping the jersey, but he ran immediately to the dugout. Like that is not true whatsoever. I was watching that game live. I was at work watching that game, and I remember like seeing Jose Altuve just waiting around and hugging all his like teammates, all his buddies on the team, making sure like he know that they were appreciated. Like those are his guys, and he was out there for like 2-3 minutes before that video of him going out into the dugout and coming back out with a championship shirt on. It's like total BS. You just got to take everything you see on the internet with a grain of salt. Just like the buzzer thing. I'm not buying the buzzer thing yet.
So we don't know officially what happens till the Manfred report comes out.
So that's like I think the very last one. I think it's just for the Red Sox and what Alex Cora had to do with it in Houston, because Alex Cora was in the Houston report a few times, but not as like the mastermind, if you will.
Last thing, baseball, before we get into some questions. Brock Holt, no longer a Boston Red Sox. That stinks.
Very sad.
That's very sad.
Very sad.
AKA, we lost Griffin Holt.
We lost Griffin Holt and Brock Holt in the same fatal signature on a Milwaukee Brewer pen and paper. But Brock actually just posted to his Instagram his farewell letter. I'll read it out for the people.
You gotta put some like dramatic music over this part.
Oh, absolutely. We love Brock
Titanic
Holt.
music.
Brock Holt, thank you for what you did in Boston. This is what he had to say. Boston, you turned a Texas boy into one of your own. It has been my absolute honor to play for your team and be a part of your city. Baseball is just that. Baseball. It doesn't last forever. The relationships I've built will. I became a husband, a father, and a champion while playing for you. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who has been a part of this chapter with us. And thank you for letting me be a part of yours. It was a damn good time. Shout out to Brock Holt, 2013, 2018 World Series champion. He was definitely one of the fan favorites for his time, especially with his dog and his son. We're definitely going to miss that out here on the east side.
I want to add to that the whole championship thing. Did you guys notice on the Red Sox post they put 2018 champion, but they didn't put 2013 with it?
Well, because he wasn't on the World Series roster. He was.
Oh, I got you.
He was like one of those flex AAA to the big leagues guys when they traded for him.
I thought he rode the bench in the World Series.
No,
he wasn't
on the World Series roster.
I got you.
That's technically why it's like Hanley Ramirez still has a ring, but Josh Gordon still has a ring, but they didn't play in the game.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some DMs and we'll wrap up with final thoughts.
DMs.
First thing we got is from Anthony Ruelli, 2018. What do you think about this Red Sox new manager? What's his name?
Ron Renicky.
He's the interim or is he
interim? Yep.
Why don't you get Pedroia? Pedroia's not going to play.
He's still on a contract.
Just pay him to be the manager.
They're not ready to manage an entire route. That's a lot of personality to handle.
Okay, that's the Red Sox is going to be good?
I think the Red Sox will be a lot better than people give them credit for.
They're not going to win the AL East. The Yankees are.
They're not going to win the AL East right now, but you never know because
sneak in the wild card.
I think as the second wild card team, the Red Sox should be odds-on favorites to be the second wild team behind maybe a team like Tampa Bay. I think 3 teams come out of the AL East this year. I'll say it.
You can quote me. I said it.
Quote me. Hot take. But
I know nothing about this manager.
Super biased, but back to the manager. His name's Ron Renicky. He was the interim he is the interim coach for the 2020 season. He was the bench coach for the Red Sox the last 2 seasons. And he was a former manager, like big league manager in the Milwaukee system at the Brewers. So he has big league experience. We're getting an experienced guy coming in, and I think he will be very well. All the players already know who he is, so it's a good match there. Instead of bringing in someone from the outside.
We have 2 bots saying hi, Ride the Wave Media with a winky face. Sup?
Hey.
Sup? Do you think the Celtics from Connor Finkelstein? I'm sorry, kid. You have a tough last name.
His last name starts with Finkel.
Do you think the Celtics have a serious chance of the finals? No, the Milwaukee Bucks are a thing.
Well, hold on.
Hold up. I think they got a shot at it. They got a shot at it.
Nobody gave the Toronto Raptors, the Washington Nationals, or the St. Louis Blues a chance at the championship, and look what happened. I definitely give the Boston Celtics a chance at least making the NBA Finals. I think if they can take the Bucks to at least 6 games, there is a solid chance that they win those last 2.
I think they could beat any team in the West in 7, but it'll be in 7. The Clippers, we played 3 overtimes in 2 games against the Clippers. We are matched up well. They just signed Reggie Jackson today. I don't know how much he's actually going to help that team.
Put him over the top.
And then the Lakers, they blew up by 30-something. We're going to play the Lakers again. It's not going to be a blowout, I don't think. The Lakers are just kind of coasting. Like, they've only lost, 12 games? The Lakers are good, obviously. I'll break the news. I'll say the Lakers are good. But the Bucks are so phenomenal. Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the best basketball players these 2 eyes have ever seen, Jeff and Gundy. I have no idea unless Giannis goes down, I think that's the only way we beat the Bucks.
Yeah.
There's a way to beat them, and it's just you got to build a wall. And if the Celtics can build that wall and withhold it, I can see them beating the Bucks in a 7 games too. I really can. We saw it happen last year.
Easier said than done. The fact that every single NFL reporter of all time says, "Oh, to beat Brady, you just got to get to him." Yeah, no kidding. Sack the quarterback. Obviously, that'll help. So just, I don't know. Realistically, the Bucks, I think, win in a wash. Who do you think? Do you think? Oh my God. I literally every single week I just can't read. It's concerning.
You're like great throughout the entire show, and then reading the DMs comes in. Oh, you just become illiterate.
Do you think you deserve to start over Gordon Hayward? Gully Swaz, go kick rocks. Gordon Hayward is good. I am not in the NBA.
What's the question?
Do you think you deserve to start over Gordon Hayward?
God. Only in 2K.
Yeah, you absolute moron. Xavier S21, ask Marcus Smart. Ask if Marcus Smart can say hello to me because it's my birthday today.
Hey, Marcus.
Yeah, let me just call Marcus Smart.
It's her birthday.
Yeah.
Marcus says hi. Thank you.
Yeah. Who do you think I am that I'm going to call Marcus? That was a waste of typing, dude.
Ring him up.
What are you doing? No NHL.views. I'm blocking you. I'm not going to read their comment because that would be free advertising. I should have said
You said their name.
I know, but they said something that I can't say anymore because that's free advertising. Bruno V04. I don't know. Do you think the Celtics have a bright future now with the J&J duo? Do they stay in Boston? What is this now nonsense?
100%.
They've always had a bright future.
They've been having this bright future since like 2014.
Yeah.
Did you turn on the TV one time today? Do they stay in Boston? So me and Babs talked about this last week. We each had the same idea. Jason Tatum is going to be a Celtic for life. He's going to go to the Celtics. He's going to sign an extension, and then he's going to LA to be on the Lakers. He loves the Lakers. He's from he's not from LA. He grew up a Lakers. Yeah, but he grew up a massive Lakers fan. He worked with Kobe. He loves Kobe. He's just a massive Lakers fan. And if you're telling me he's going to be one of the best players in the NBA in about 5, 6, 7 years, he's absolutely going to go to LA.
I think he'll sign that extension with the Celtics, and then we'll see from there.
Yeah. He will 100% sign a rookie extension. He wants to see. I think that Jalen and Jason Tatum want to see what they can do together. Neither of them are going to be Celtics for life, sadly.
I think Tatum will be a Celtic for life because I feel like he kind of falls right in the Paul Pierce shoes. Like Paul Pierce, huge Laker fan from Inglewood. Came to the Celtics. I think Jaylen Brown will low-key kind of be like an Antonio Walker. Like, yeah, really good. And, they'll make it good in the playoffs. But, he's not going to be Celtic for life. I think the only one's going to be Tatum.
Well, even Paul Pierce didn't play for the Celtics.
Well, right, but he played the majority of his career. Tatum might leave at his washed-up years,
But even then, people thought,
do anything.
What's Tatum's NBA comparison? Is it Kevin Durant? Is it Paul Pierce? Is it you can list the other superstars on the team who think that they're going to be on that one team for life because that's the team they're getting big with. That's the team that they're starting with, and then someone as soon as they hit free agency, here is a $200 million contract. I dare you to say no. It's not gonna happen. I hope he's a Celtic for life. Trust me, but I don't see that happening.
That's why this summer's important.
Calvin Al 13. Ask Brad to play tacky more. I'm assuming he means taco, but
tacky.
Yeah. Well, why do people think I have a direct contact with Marcus Smart and Brad Stevens?
We do.
What do you mean we don't?
In Celtics Bucks matchup, whose level of play is most important for the Celtics? Who is the biggest X factor? I have my answer.
Ooh.
Let's see.
I got mine.
I have the correct answer too.
What's your answer then, Tyler?
Gordon Hayward.
Yep.
You have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
That's a good point, actually.
Arguing that both of them could have been All-Stars. You have Kemba, All-Star. You have Tice, who's going to play well. Tice is not there. If you have that fourth scorer getting 20 points a game, that's the only way Giannis, if you have 80 points combined, those four, that's the only way you can kind of chip at Giannis. And the rest of those people do their own thing, but they're all averaging around 20 these last 7 games of the year.
The Bucks are scoring 130 points a game.
Yeah, and Giannis is playing 30 seconds a game or something like that. He's playing 30 minutes a game, but it feels like nothing. I don't think they win. I'll say that now. Quote me on February 19th, 2020. Celtics losing 5.
Oh,
wow.
That's brutal.
5. Wow.
It just broke my heart.
It's not because the Celtics are bad. It's just because Giannis Antetokounmpo is a generational talent, and people should just appreciate how good he is instead of hate him when the Celtics play him.
So I would have went Gordon Hayward because I think Gordon Hayward did a lot of good stuff with kind of the guy that comes in to give the stars some rest. I loved how he played in that Clippers game. I think it was in the overtime. He played great. I loved him. Yeah, everyone says we need to trade him. I love him.
Double overtime. He missed his first 2 shots. I'm like, this is just Gordon Hayward, man. And then, as soon as he hit that step-in 3 at the top of the key, before he even touched the ball, I'm like, this is a 3-pointer. This is coming in. This is just a fact. He hit it. So, favorite all-time.
X factor. I wasn't thinking Gordon Hayward, but I definitely agree with you guys on that, what both of you just said. But mine was going to be, we talked about it earlier, Semi Ojeleye. I think if he could find a way to just slow Giannis down just even a little, knock Giannis down from 30 points a game to 24, 25 in a postseason series, and then give us those corner threes he's prone to give us.
You have 6 fouls, use them all. What are you gonna do? Make an impact in this series? Just hack them.
Why not?
Just play body. Just go make it tough for him.
Well, it's gonna be
get dunked over because Giannis's arms are just as big as Semi's and 10 feet longer.
Plus 10,
what's gonna be interesting in that Milwaukee series is that Jaylen Brown has said, on paper that he's studied Giannis and he knows how to stop him. But in these last 2 games, Celtics split him 1-1. Jaylen Brown has not appeared in any of those 2 games. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he comes off in the playoffs when we, meet
I like
Milwaukee.
that though. Yeah, keep him in
That's
your back pocket.
Keep it in the back pocket. This is like Bill Belichick right there.
It's like Babs' theory
People
about not showing everything.
hate whenever they see Jaylen Brown out versus Bucks. Like, oh, are you scared to play the Bucks? No.
Hold on,
You keep this in your back pocket and you're fine.
I got a poster on my wall
Of?
Jalen dunking on
I was like, I was
Twice.
Like, poster. I got to post it too. All right, last 2 questions. Favorite all-time Celtic? Mine is Kevin Garnett, and if you want to hear why, listen to last episode when me and Babs is a clown. Like his argument made no sense.
Mine used to be Paul Pierce, and then it was Isaiah Thomas because I fluctuate. But now it is definitely Kemba Walker because of the college connection.
UConn, baby.
You.
Who's your favorite Celtic of all time, ever of all time?
Favorite all-time Celtic. This is tough. I gotta go with someone from like the beginning, 80s, 60s. I'll go with Bill Russell because he was so dominant. Like I don't know if the Celtics has had someone that dominant next to Bird. Bill Russell was that dominant. Like always took the good guys and 11 rings. I mean, how can you beat that?
Well, who's your favorite Celtic that you were alive to see for?
Paul Pierce, easy.
I was gonna say. To us, Bill Russell just a story. Like when you look at it, he's not a player. And then last question from Luke Vroom. I ranted about this before. We don't need to talk about Kyrie Irving anymore.
Ooh.
This is the last one I am ever answering about a Kyrie-based question, unless he does some wild stuff in like a week. But why did Kyrie fail as a leader? He failed as a leader because he's not a number 1 guy. He is a number 2 guy. He's a number 3 guy. You know why the Nets stink this year? Because Kyrie is the number 1 guy. The Nets are going to be phenomenal next year because you have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving playing off him. Kyrie Irving wasn't a leader in Cleveland. He also happened to have LeBron James on his team. Kyrie Irving's not built to lead a team. He is addicted to telling the media bad quotes and playing the victim. So like you can't have that as a leader.
Mm-hmm. Tyler, I'm gonna make sure we have a Kyrie segment next week. Just you wait.
You fuck it. Any thoughts on the Kyrie stuff?
I agree with that 100%. Kyrie is a bum loser.
Yeah, he wanted to be a leader, but I don't know if anyone really bought into it when he was in Boston. You know what I mean?
It's like people didn't care when he was in Boston. It's just we have Kyrie Irving. He's really good, but
we like the last guy more.
Yeah.
Boston likes the storyline.
You broke up with your ex-girlfriend. Not as attractive as the new girlfriend. The other girlfriend was way better, way more loyal, a ride or die, and this new girlfriend is just a good-looking human, and that's it. That's really it. Like, simple as that. That's the Kyrie Irving experience. All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap up today's show? Jake, we'll start with you. Any final thought about anything? This is what we do on Boston's Big Three. Spew anything you want. Plug anything you want.
Airtime.
Plug anything you want. Make sure to check out my podcast.
Don't plug that. No, I'm just kidding.
Check out Boston Power Hour on Spotify, Google, Apple. It's on everything. Go check it out. Final thoughts, though. You guys talked about it last week and didn't get to it this week, but Kevin Garnett's jersey should not be retired. Just my take.
Whoa.
Buddy. You side with Babs or you side with Tyler Miller? You side with the dark side or you side with the right side of history? You guys can complain all you want. Kevin Garnett's jersey is going to be in the rafters next year, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
I love KG, but to put him up with like Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Paul Pierce, I mean, those are all a ton of
dudes more energetic than all those dudes combined.
Dude,
right, but he was only in Boston for 5 seasons, 6 seasons.
I needed you bad last week, dude. I had Rune Dog giving the same argument time again. I had Babs keep saying 1 championship. I'm like, all right, dude, you don't get the vision.
No, I can see the culture thing, but I don't know, 6 years. That's like
a long time, right? That's over half a decade. What were you doing 6 years ago? You were 10, right? Do you remember what you were doing when you were 10?
I was 11.
All right. Do you remember what you were doing 11? No.
I think I was in middle school when I was 11.
You think? Correct. You have no idea. 6 years is a long time. Brandon, final thoughts?
I can't wait to see this final Manfred report, and then we will finally see the Red Sox got rid of Alex Cora way too soon. He's still involved with all the players. He's still friendly. He's just not hanging around the clubhouse as much anymore. Free Alex Cora. He will be free by this time in maybe a week or two.
All right, my final thought is Penn State basketball lost their first game in 9 games yesterday. We are the number 9 seed in the country for a reason. I see a lot of people saying we're the worst 9 seed in the history. Name other 9 seeds. You're just saying words. You don't know what you're talking about. Penn State basketball is going to be a force in March Madness. They are a team filled with shooters, big guys, and a whole lot of energy. This team wants to play for each other. This team wants to show that Penn State is more than just a football, wrestling, a lax, a hockey powerhouse. We're good at everything.
A Title IX powerhouse.
Oh, we are a very good school, a phenomenal school at sports.
In Title IX?
Yeah, I mean, we did a thing that happens, but like you brush by that and we just overshine with the sports. We're fine. We're fine.
My final thought is that UConn basketball is back. Yes, we lost our second to best player, but they are back. They have beat 3 ranked teams this year. They have all fallen out of the rankings after we beat them because the NCAA knows how good UConn is. They just don't want to see us with a number by us yet. Just wait for March to roll around and their final appearance in the American Athletic Conference tournament, and they're going to March Madness, baby.
All right. This has been Boston's Big 3, episode 33. Please, for the love of God, follow me on Twitter at TyMiller508.
Stop.
I had 1,600 Twitter followers, and they're all taken away. I need to rebuild that. Please, for the love of God, follow me. I need you to follow me. Listen, I'm talking to you, pal. Yeah, you with the headphones in, listening right now to this episode. Take 20 seconds every day, type in TyMiller508, click the follow button, and I'd appreciate it. I'll follow you back.
He'll Venmo you $1.
I will Venmo you 1 whole cent. All right. Follow Boston Sports Center 617. Don't follow Brandon Watabe. And we'll see you guys eventually. The next time this show will be in your ear holes. You'll hear Babs' loud mouth and Stafford talking about the combine.
Bunch of nerds talking about numbers and stuff.
I don't need to be on that one.